Spiritually Speaking and Awakening starts now.
This week's episode is sponsored by Dollhouse of Tampa Salon and Studio. Find your inner doll. They offer quick weave, sew-ins, and much, much more to fit every occasion. Need a wig? Selena's got you. She will customize a unit just for you. Book your next appointment on Booksy today. Did someone say nails? Honey, forget the Bayhive. Contact Queen Bee herself. She offers customized designer nails and even designer press-ons that she will customize and ship to you. Braids, and even twists. Book with Tiffany right on Facebook. Find your inner doll at Dollhouse Tampa Salon and Studio. Tampa. This week's episode is sponsored by Hustle and Bling. It don't mean a thing if you ain't got that bling. Lovely paparazzi designer pieces for only $5. That's right, $5. And don't worry about it if the kid gets in the jewelry box. They're only $5. Make sure you catch Allison Mondays and Tuesdays, Wednesdays and Thursdays live on Instagram and Facebook, promoting some of these wonderful fashion fixes that you'll enjoy. And if you miss it, check out the website. Don't mean a thing if it ain't got that bling. Hustle and Bling.
Stay in Love TV is your production to distribution solution to getting your message seen and heard. Having your own TV show with Stay in Love TV has never been easier than now. Stay in Love TV gives you the power to share your message with the world. Stop watching TV and start being watched on TV. Stay in Love TV offers real-time multicasting, all with one click. This opportunity puts you on the world stage with an audience of over 200 million. In addition to your lower monthly subscription fees, you will also receive monthly network coaching and training from the network itself to ensure that before your first show premieres, you are set up for success. We at Stay in Love TV bring over 20 years experience in sales, marketing, advertising, and business development. Stay in Love TV, purposeful entertainment driven by love, empowered with passion, fueled with faith. Go to www.stayinlovetv.com and let's get started.
This is our kingdom come. Let the spirit of the Holy One pass over. Let your peace cover the earth. Lord, let your will be done. This is the time to take a stand, to let the world know that you can. You can face tomorrow, but today is the day that you say, I will reign. I will reign.
Hello, everyone. How are you? I am Vanessa Klinger, your intuitive life strategist and life coach motivator.
And I'm Michelle, your spiritual evolutionist and motivator. Namaste. I bow to the divine presence and purpose, power in you.
Namaste, co-host.
Yes.
How was your week, my love?
Everything is going down but the word. So I just kept a word above everything and started taking my thoughts captive and making sure that they're bouncing out with the frequency of God and not the frequency of man. And then once you do that, you start seeing things as all-knowing, all-present, and all-powerful. So every time I got a negative thought, I just said all-knowing, all-present, all-powerful. And keeping my thought frequency in that realm all leaves out nothing. So We just got to take control of these thoughts that have been downloaded in our subconscious. And every time something happens, they get triggered and we don't do anything about it. But we are so powerful. We have got to take the words that we're saying, the visions that we're seeing, and what we're believing and knowing. And we got to stay on top of it.
In the words of the great and powerful Patti LaBelle, if you only knew.
Right.
If you only knew how
And I'm just
powerful you are.
discovering some things that I thought I knew. Well, now let me back up. I believed that weren't true, but now I know what is true. And the truth just is, it doesn't change. It just remains stable. So I have to remain stable by standing the truth. So that's been my task this week, regards to what's going on the outside, the things that I'm facing. All knowing, all powerful, and all present.
All knowing, all powerful, and all present. That's
Yeah.
right. That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
All knowing, all powerful, and all present. Wow. Okay. Yeah. So we did it again, co-host.
Yes, I am excited. Our content has leveled up. Our consciousness has opened up. I can see the growth from last season to this season, and I just don't know what to expect for the next season.
It's we are, as our soul prospers, so shall everything around us prospers.
Yeah. So that's why I was saying, you got to get the soul lined up. First of all, we don't even recognize our soul that much. We sparingly look at it, but our soul has a big role in what's going on and dealing with our karma and our soul ties. We're soul tied to this conditioned, illusional, third dimensional piece of junk mess that people have fed us, and we've got to cut those ties. We've got to destroy them. So yeah, I name my soul ever loving light.
Ever loving light. I like it.
Yeah. So I have to talk to my soul because my soul has been here. So why do we keep inventing the wheel when we have this powerful divine intelligence inside of us that knows everything? That's why I keep saying omniscient, omnipotent. I'm powerful. I'm all knowing. I'm all present, and that puts you in the presence of God because that's what God is. So yeah, we got to level up. We got to rapture up. We got to swipe up.
Right. And it's interesting because as you evolve, you start to see and witness other people, and you're starting to see spiritually where they are based on their actions and behavior and stuff. And I talked about it on Ride Along. It's a soul thing. If you get that, man, that Pastor Carl Lenz, I'm telling you, that totally set me on the course of where I am right now. I owe it all to God, but the fact that I was seeking and crying out and really wanting, what that missing element, and Spirit spoke through him. And at that right moment, see, it's all about, you said it's all about the timing.
Yes.
Not about the time, the timing of it. See, the timing of it was, I was in the position to receive, and boom, there he was being interviewed by Oprah. And he said that, get your soul right, your behavior will change. And that's all he said. That's the only thing I remember of that entire interview.
Right. That's all you were supposed to get.
Yeah. And it totally just made sense. It was like, because I had certain things in place, but it was like that missing component. And if the viewers here, if you can get this, and you understand the process of your transformation, the process of your enlightenment and your involvement in the process of your soul's journey that it must go through, because of the fact that our soul has been here multiple times, and our in different vehicles, like you described, different vehicles. And based on that, we encountered certain things. We picked up on energies and karma and things. And because of the laws of this world and the laws of what God had spoken, you reap what you sow, your death and life and all these things were in the power of the tongue. See, if we are souls, soul ain't got no tongue.
Right.
So it was all these laws that were put into place in order for God's master plan and for God to help us master this human form, right? And also and put in bringing all these great prophets, and then Jesus showed up and all this, and then they killed him, and allegedly, and all this kind of stuff. So if we can really allow ourselves to understand and really come into knowing what that's all about, then that equips you. That equips you to go through these experiences, and then you cycle through these processes much quicker. Because when you have intel, when you're a soldier, you have intel, you know how to defeat and these obstacle courses that you're going through, you know how to get through those much more successfully if you have the intel on that situation. But if you don't know and you're just going in blindsided, you're gonna trip up and you're gonna create more karma and all this kind of stuff and wind up wounded like roadkill on the side of the road, and you won't.
Oh my God.
Yes, girl. Yes. All this stuff. And in fact, who's to say you're going to survive? And if you don't, you got to come right back here. And then you bringing that back here because it has to be reconciled. So if you understand that, if you get to that level of reasoning and saying to yourself, okay, yeah, I may not know everything, but this is something that I do know. Right. I do know that if I think about something I'm creating, if I could keep continually meditating on it, I'm going to make my way prosperous or not prosperous, successful or unsuccessful, depending on what I'm meditating on.
And it's almost so simple that we miss it because we've been hypnotized to do it the negative way. And so it's almost like everything comes up negative. And that's why I said I'm very conscious now of what thoughts are coming up. As they come up, I am deleting and replacing so that my subconscious does not come back, or my soul does not have to deal with that again in the next vehicle. Again, I really feel like in the fifth dimension, there's a new race, and the race is not of color, it's of content. And we are creating that in a new form, because some of the things that I've been listening to, like Ernest Holmes, he said some things in 1918 that we are here now. So if he saw that in 1918 and he was speaking on that dimension to those people, he created a new race of us, and then we are to create a new race for someone else to come behind us. But every round is getting higher and closer to where we're supposed to be in the original state. So I really, within my heart, know that in this fifth dimension, we are creating a new race of people that has nothing to do with the outside. It is all about the content on the inside. Can you imagine living in a place and a space where everyone is conscious? Ooh, it's called a perfect world. And God calls us perfect, and we're perfect from the inside out. But we have been taught that we're not perfect because we're looking, and they're right, because we're looking from the outside. Yes, you're right. But if you're looking from the inside out, you are perfection. You cannot be in the image of the Most High God and not be in perfection. And if we don't see ourselves,
Wait. Please. Say that again so I can hear you in the back, co-host.
You cannot be in the image of the Most High God and not be in perfection. And so we've been taught so much that we're imperfect, that we're sinners, we're this, we're that. That is not us. That is a vehicle that we're operating in. But the inside is always going to excel the outside, but only if you're in the divine mind or the Christ consciousness. If you're walking in that, we all in the image. Some of us just forgot.
And that was a whole ploy and scheme of this world, because of the negative forces knows what our capabilities are. The negative forces know, they know the laws because this is their world, right? So they understand how it works. So in order for them to have success in this world, they need energy, they need bodies, they need souls in vehicles, right? So the scheme was, okay, there they are, we know who they are, let's do what we can to rob and steal and destroy their energy, their power, so that they can become our slaves, when in actuality we are the slaves. See, it's interesting because when you realize what's happening, they're the ones that slaves, because they're slave, they have to stay here because this is their home, this is not our home, right?
Right.
We were to arrive here to come get the people that are still stuck, the ones that are still in prison, the ones that are still enslaved. And all the stories in the Bible was sharing with you, with people, the readers, all of these people who rose up in a generation and a family and all this stuff, it was a model of who we really are and what our capabilities were in this human form, and how we could be masters right where we are over these experiences, and rise above all of that and elevate higher, and be rulers, right? You can't be a ruler if you don't know what kind of tools and equipment you have and what your capabilities are. But when you know what your capabilities are, then you are equipped and empowered. But the scheme of it was, okay, we know that they have a God and this and that, so let's just create this whole crazy system, a deceptive system that's going to appear as an angel of light, to appear, to give you the appearance of this, and totally set them on a journey, and they think they're going in the right direction.
Well, we basically have to look at that there are two sets of laws. The original law from God was land, air, and water. Told us we have dominion over all the land, over everything in the air, and over everything in the water. So if you look at land, air, and water, that means law. That was God's law. So the people that when it talks about, Satan says, I'm going to duplicate, I'm going to be like, I'm going to get my own congregation. So what happened was God's law was duplicated. And so we were taught the man way of law.
No,
and
no.
we forgot. I'm sorry.
Not, I have to disagree on the word duplicated. What was the word? Falsified.
Yeah. Well, when I say duplicate, a duplication is never like the original. There's always some type of flaw from the original. Even if you copy something on a copier, it's never exactly like the original. It has some content, but there's something that's been added or maybe taken away. So that's why I said duplicated, because he was trying to say like, I'm going to make it like. So a copy is like the original, but it's off in some respect, whether it's the clearness of it, the deepness of it, however, it's off. So their law is off, and they veered us to everything that's off. And because we have not studied, because we have not asked questions, because we have not defined who we are, and we let other people tell us who we were and who we were going to be and what we weren't going to be, then we got off the real law of land, air, and water, and having dominion over that. And we gave our dominion over to them by agreeing and consenting to the things that they were saying to us, and never questioning it and asking questions about, why are you doing this? Why is this like this? And we just went into duplication, and we say, well, if they say do it like this, this is how we do it. There's so many things that in man's law is questionable. Like we were talking about earlier about a contract that you had. It's so much stuff hidden in that we don't ask questions about. We don't read it. We just sign it because we're excited about getting something. And we've consented to some things that we don't even know about because we fail to investigate. So
unaware of our capabilities, even though We were equipped with the basic instructions before leaving Earth. We were provided with everything we needed.
Mm-hmm.
But because of the fact uh, it's a human tendency to want to be led. It's a human tendency to want to be guided because we arrive here as babies, right? So we are conditioned and groomed to respect authority, be obedient. You know, my
And
mother
I
used
heard Bashar say, Christ's consciousness never came to make us followers, it came to make us leaders.
Mhm.
And it made so much sense when he said that, because we've been following their way and not leading the way it should be.
Right. And it's so I love this time because we are, the age of Aquarius is birth, and age of Aquarius is rebellion and uniqueness and unconditional love and really a sense of awakening. And although there are a lot of a lot of noise going on, a lot of noise, a lot of people debating over, if God is real and all this stuff. And it's great because at least it's getting the conversation going, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because when you start having a conversation, then you open up portals of information to arrive to you. But if you don't ever say nothing and you just going with the flow and doing what because
Right,
someone else told you to do it,
right,
then you'll forever be on that path, but in that wavelength. But if you start asking questions and you're courageous enough to have a interaction and a dialogue with people that are different than you and have different points of views than you, then you open up these portals of information, of enlightenment to arrive. But
mm-hmm.
and it's such an exciting time. And that's why there's a dismantling of this system that's going on, and it's leading into what we've been talking about all season, and what the season finales is about. Babylon is falling. It's a dismantling of the system because it's breaking out. Because you know what? That system needed our energy. That system needed our bodies. That system needed our obedience and our compliance. But now here come the age of Aquarius with the rule breakers coming in, kicking in doors and say, wait a minute, nope, this is wrong. You don't treat people like that. No, I will not comply. And now people are standing up and being courageous. Why? Because somebody else is doing it. And it's this wave and this energy that's flowing in. And it's so great. And it's such an exciting time. And Babylon is falling, and we're gonna talk about it tonight, co-host. We're gonna talk about Babylon falling and the what the ultimate end and the demise of this amazing, elaborate, evil system.
Yeah. And it's not as big as we think. They've just magnified it.
Well, it was magnified because of us, of our
Right, because
compliance.
all of our energies joined in to go in with it because we are light. And so whatever we join in with, we shine light on, and it caused others to follow. So we've made it bigger than it really is. And that's why it's falling, because there's a part of the Bible that says when you see this small thing that's been just terrorizing everybody and everything, you will say, is this?
That's all it was that was doing it. And that's how I see it. I'm like,
Is
what?
this it? Is this what caused men to fall?
To be deceived?
To be deceived, to run after the illusion, just small thing.
Delusions of grandeur. That was the thing.
Yeah,
Give you money, power, wealth, and
yeah.
everything, and then
I
big.
give you all of this, and it's already yours. How can you give me what's already mine? And so,
Oh, yeah, only if you give me your soul.
right. So it's exciting, and you have this feeling inside of you that say, man, is this really what's about to happen? And then this overcoming of this sensation or this energy of this rush. I've been going around for the last few weeks with this feeling, and I can't shake it. It's not good, it's not bad, it's just a feeling of, I say, excitement, because the unknown always excites or scares. But if you're aware of what's going on, you're not going to be scared.
No, you're just
So,
flowing. I'm just flowing. Yep. And I know what I've. you're going to get a return on whatever you've invested.
Right, because that's the principle, sowing and reaping. And we always just applied it to money. We were always exposed to it as just money. But sowing and reaping is the main principle. That's why God does not punish. He allows you to sow and reap. And whatever you're getting right now can be from a previous karma or from a present karma. But when you're aware of that, then you know how to proceed in that, and you know how to reverse it and begin to apply the knowledge that you have on it. And so the journey that you're taking in the karma is the burden is light. What does he say? My
No
yoke is easy and my burden is light.
life.
It becomes light in perception and it becomes light in weight.
Especially because of the fact the word, the powerful word, and this promises that are written in the great scriptures. When you see, because if you have the right perception, then you'll know how to speak to that thing, right? You say, oh, well, he said he would restore what all the years what the cankerworm done stole and everything.
Right.
So
You apply the word. So the word
yeah,
is
you apply the
do,
word. He can do
right.
exceedingly abundantly above all I can ask or think. So I know what I've been thinking. I got exceedingly abundantly above all what I asked for. So I just know what I've been asking for, vibrating out. I know what I've been asking for. I know what I've been asking for, affirming. I know what I've been asking for, visualizing. I know what I've been asking for with my vibration, with my high vibration of gratitude and joy and keeping me empowered and strengthened. I know what I've been asking for.
And so let's take it a little deeper.
Okay.
What you're asking for as the things that you desire to manifest, we also have to be aware of those things that were planted in our subconscious that will try to sneak in like the tares and the wheat, but we have to let it grow up together because in harvest time it's going to be separated. It's going to be burned out. So, but when you get to the place that you know, okay, if you recognize this is a karma because I haven't sown this in this time. So it has to be a past karma. So since it's a past karma, it's really not mine, but I know how to apply what I've already
satisfy it, to reconcile it,
to satisfy it so it can get closed out and I can move on to something different.
Right.
And so we have to make sure that we address those thoughts that sneak in that were downloaded before we became enlightened, before we got to this space, because we do have some residue. And those are the things that come up when you are not focused thinking.
True.
That's the babble that comes up in your mind. So that's why you have to stay resignated in your heart to line your head up, because your head is full of fear, doubt, selfishness, resentment, craziness, foolishness, but your heart is pure. So yes, we have to send out the frequency of the will that we have. It's not what we want, because the Lord is our shepherd, we shall not want, but the will that we desire for our lives. And we begin, because every time you want something, you just create the want. You don't create the content.
Stop wanting. Somebody say, what do you want? Nothing. I would love to experience that.
Yeah, we've got to come out the spells. Yeah, we have to come out of the spells.
What do you want? What? Nothing.
Nothing.
No thing.
Yeah.
You know, and it's all about changing how you talk. Yes. It's all about and you reference something, and I have to talk about it really quickly, but about, you know, the karma and all that. All of that, it's a process, that process that you have to go through. But the ultimate good is when you come out and you go through. I talked about on Ride Along the hero's soul's journey, where you go through initiation. Let me get it right quick, because I want to talk about it. There it is. The soul's journey. Let me see. Because I love it. I was like, this is so good. I was watching Gaia. And I was like, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
That is a network that you should, you know, I recommend you to get, because Gaia has some information that you're not going to hear on the regular TV.
Yeah, and it's but that's for the ones that are ready.
But even when I started listening to it, I wasn't where I am now, but that helped me. When you start hearing that, and then it wakes up the hunger in you to know.
more.
Um,
Right? It whets your
so
appetite.
yes, and then you're able to say, wait a minute,
Mm-hmm.
let me refresh myself. So
Yeah.
that's what it did for me. It caused me to refresh myself because somebody recommended it to me. I had never heard of it. And they would say, oh, well, you can use my subscription. I got it for a year just to see if you like it. And when I went into it and saw all the content, I was like blown away.
Right. It's the
Yeah.
best. It really is the
And
best.
it's
Okay.
very inexpensive. I mean,
Yeah.
you're
Before you
paying
pull
more
all
for
that other stuff. Yep.
yeah, you're paying more for cable TV than you would pay for that.
Right.
And I think it's about maybe $11 a month or
Something like that. Yep.
$99 for a
Yeah.
whole year or something.
Yep. So
Um,
yeah, it's
but
good.
they will give you like a certain free period, a 7-day
Yep.
trial
A
period.
trial here for you to
So
try
you
it
can
out.
look at it and decide. I do recommend that for in the time that we're in, it covers every subject that you need in your awakening. So
Right.
yeah, Gaia is a good place.
The hero soul's journey. Dig this now. You have separation, a call to adventure. You're aided with a supernatural aid and mentor during this first phase because you're going to be called away from those things that you thought you knew, and it's where you did realize that you're here for a reason. You don't know what it is. And then you go through the initiation, the road of trials. This is where the dark night of the soul happens. This is where you address and deal with your karma. This is where your mentor will separate itself from you, and you finally have to start utilizing everything that you've learned and been equipped with, and it feels isolating. You feel alone. And then you're going to go through all those phases that Jesus did: temptation, battle with a brother, death of the mentor, all this stuff. And then you're going to go, and the final one is to return. And dig this now, Michelle. It says a refusal to go back. This is where you really declare, I'm not going back. I'm moving forward. Come hell or high water, I'm moving forward. This is it. I will not give up. I will not quit. I will not, go back to the initiation and the dark. I will not. And then you get the ultimate reward. And then you're the master of two worlds. Ain't that a Jesus story? That's why he had to go to hell.
You have to master it.
And he came back with the keys. So he got the keys of the kingdom and he got the keys of both worlds.
And so that's what we're doing right now.
Exactly.
We have the keys to every situation, everything we've gone through. Because if you're still here, you're not a survivor. You're an overcomer.
Overcomer, baby. That's right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, go grab yourself a refreshing beverage. When we come back, we're going to go and take a deep dive into and wrap up the season, wrap up part 2 of Babylon Has Fallen, Revelation chapter 18. We're going to be, it's a lot of scriptures, but I think we're going to start at verse 9 and we'll go through that. But go and grab yourself a refreshing beverage, and when we return, we're going to be talking about Babylon Has Fallen. So, stay tuned. Grateful that I was diligent because I was tired, y'all. I was tired. I was tired of failing. I was tired of just effing up. I was, in my vernacular, I was just tired. I was tired of missing it, right? Sinning. I was tired of missing the mark. I was tired of not aligning with, and you think that you are encountering resistance, but actually from your external world, but actually that's your world telling you this ain't it. Right along with Vanessa Morning Show streams Fridays, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on Stay in Love TV.
Welcome. You have just entered today's Michelle Hour. We provide you with insight that's needed to take a deeper look into your consciousness and provide tools that will open up the door to your higher self. Get ready for a now awakening. Remember, once you go in, you'll never be without.
Get your copy of Mental Equation, available on Amazon and on Stay in Love TV, today's Michelle Hour.
7.
That's right. Get your copy of Mental Equation. I got it in the car now, Michelle. I'll be stuck in traffic, everything. I'm just gonna pick it up and refresh myself. Mental equation. And you, I'm sorry, what? Well, hold on. I think you're muted.
It's
There you go.
easy. It's easy reading. It's not anything that's really deep.
Yeah.
It's just easy reading. And I
Easy read.
wanted it to be like that because a lot of times when you get books, you get overwhelmed by the volumes, the chapters, and I I just hope that it's easy reading for those of you that it can wake you up in some areas. So
Right. It's very enlightening. It's very enlightening. I
I'm
just
proud of it.
good for you. Good for you. Go get it. It's on Amazon, or you can contact Michelle uh, here on
Yes,
our social media, and she will be happy to send it out to you. And I know I didn't send you your book.
I know because I didn't get it.
I know, but I will. I promise you, I will send it to you
I
tomorrow.
know you're busy.
And
I
I'm
know
messing
you're
them out on the post office. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go first thing in the morning. But tonight I have 3 left. We're giving away free copies of Jay Nolan's rendition of The Science of Getting Rich, and Wallace D. Wattles was the author of the book, and it's a great, powerful book. His publishing company published it, and he rendered it and modernized the verbiage and added some nice little nuggets, wisdom nuggets that he provides. So if you would like a copy of Jay Nolan's rendition of The Science of Getting Rich, then you just hit me up on social media and I'll be happy to mail it out to you.
and
Free.
I'm gonna show at least 3 people a copy.
Okay. All right. So we'll partner up. So you'll get 2 free copies of Science of Getting Rich and Mental Equation. So message either myself or Michelle and say, I want a free book. And then we'll connect and the first 3 people will get
Don't sleep on it.
Don't sleep on it. I'm telling you, it's we're in the day. I mean, free. So I mean,
What more can you ask?
what more can you ask for? If my dad's motto is, if it's free, if it's free, it's for me. I'm serious. My dad, we go to restaurants and stuff, and how you try to upsell you and all this kind of stuff. He says, "Is that free? That come with it? Is that free?" No, Dad. That's okay. No, Dad, don't worry about it. And when we go out to dinner and stuff, still do it. Don't want for nothing, right? Don't need no money. And it was like, what are we doing? Where are we going? Don't worry, Dad. We literally have to tell him, don't worry about Dad, is taken care of. You don't have to pay for anything, nothing, I tell you. But yeah, so he is. If it's free, it's for me. So tonight we're going to be talking about Babylon Is Fallen Part 2, the season finale of Spiritually Speaking and Awakening. Got a lot of scriptures here, and the scripture highlight is verse 20. I'm not going to read all of them, but I really wanted to read I think it's verse 20 through 24. And here we go. Oh heaven, celebrate and join in, saints, apostles, and prophets. God has judged her. Every wrong you suffered from her has been judged. A strong angel reached for a boulder, huge like a millstone, and heaved it into the sea, saying, heaved and sunk, the great city Babylon, sunk in the sea, not a sign of her ever again. Silent the music of harpers and singers, you'll never hear flutes and trumpets again. Artisans of every kind gone, you'll never see their likes again. The voice of a millstone grinding falls dumb, you'll never hear that sound again. The light from lamps, never again. Never again laughter of bride and groom. Her traitors robbed the whole earth blind, and by black magic arts deceived the nations. The only thing left of Babylon is blood, the blood of saints and prophets, the murdered and the martyred. I'm telling you, girl. Woo! Babylon has fallen. The system is crumbling. It's being dismantled. How's it being dismantled? Because the scripture has been to me all week. Unless there come to be a falling away first. See, we misinterpreted that, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
The falling away is us falling away from this deceptive system.
Yes. It's basically your mind has been refreshed, remembered, uh, revitalized, reversed. The falling is all of the conditioning and the illusions that have been planted in your system. And it's fallen because it no longer has any strength if we're not giving it any energy. So everything that we're not giving energy has to fall. It cannot live. We are the energizing force that operates in this vicinity of space. And so all of that is falling. I mean, it's unreal how quick it's happening, and that we're a part of that. That's why I'm so amazed. Like, man, I mean, I've been chosen to be able to see the mess that have held my ancestors, that have held all my parents, my grandparents, all of them, all of these years, and me up until a certain point that won't hold my children. Oh man, that's good in the neighborhood.
Very good in the neighborhood. And you know what's really gonna make you blow your mind is that this song that I heard from a movie. I am my own grandpa. You could be your own ancestor.
It's everything becoming one.
Yeah. And we'll talk about that. We're gonna talk about that more next season. But the thing is that because if your soul's been here before, then it's been in many bodies. And it's interesting that you would say that, but it's because of the grace of getting to come back. But the idea of being aware.
Yeah.
I'm back, and I'm a part of this
Yeah.
wonderful experience to see
Right.
the word finally manifest.
And you can't, you it's not something that you could actually put into words, because there are no words in this vocabulary that can explain that. And to be able to see this is like a kid going on an adventure and just so excited about what's next. And everything in the now is happening. And it's to me, it is one of the most exciting things I've ever experienced, because God is literally opening up every door, every piece of information. He is sending me to people to listen to that are confirming what I've said. And I didn't know they said it, and I said it. And then it's all coming together because we're one mind. Oh my God. The Christ consciousness.
It's because you're lining up with that frequency.
Yeah. And we're one mind. We're
And
all, the universe is one mind.
And that is a confirmation of your what your spirit is telling you. And then you hear it externally. That's just confirmation. So that's letting you know, hey, yep, I ain't crazy. Yep, I know. Yep, thank you. Yep, okay, this is where I'm going. And it's almost such a wonderful thing. And if only those that are hearing would trust themselves. That's the thing.
Well, it takes a minute.
Yeah.
Because I'm just talking about my experience.
Yeah, mine too. Yeah.
Like some of the things that I was hearing, I was like, God, I mean, am I hearing right? Or, so it takes a minute for you to get back in that frequency and balance out with the frequency of God, because you've been so out of balance for so long. So it does take a minute, but you just have to receive. What helped me was stop trying to figure it out. Stop trying to worry about how it's going to work out, but just receive it. Just open up and receive it. And then it becomes a better transition, can I say? When you just say, okay, God, I'm just going to stand still. I'm going to be quiet, and I'm going to hear what you're saying, and I'm going to receive it. And then run with it. But if you try to figure out.
That's the path. That makes it more, that's you getting in your own way.
Right. And that's what I was doing for myself. But you have to self-examine you and stop spending so much time examining everybody else. Everything that you see in somebody else that you don't like is something in you that you need to work on. So when you start examining that, then you see why God says, judge not that you be judged. Because as you begin to judge people, you're actually judging yourself. So when you see the ugly in you, then you kind of get that pole out of your eye first.
Well, if you get the pole out of your eye, then you'll be able to see them clearly.
Right. And you'll see them as God sees them.
Right.
that's another exercise that I've been doing. If I see somebody and I'm the first thing I'm finna see is something negative, I be like, oh, let me see what God sees in them. And it kind of stops that flow of you thinking negative about stuff, people, things, places. It just aligns you right back to your heart. So I'm
Yeah.
excited. Yeah.
And if you spend enough time with yourself, you won't even have time to be judging, because sure
Mhm.
enough, your spirit will be telling you, and you go,
Mhm.
yeah, that's right. That's something in me that I need to. Why am I judging
Yeah.
it? Why?
I take it personally.
Mhm.
There goes me. In another dimension, in another season, in another level, in another church, in another mind. All of those are me. There's nothing new under the sun. So we're just like these churches. We're going through different states of mind. And then every mind takes you to a different dimension. And so what we must put our focus on is the prize and not the promise. And so as we begin to put our focus on the prize, we're going to eliminate the process because we're not going to know what's happening. It's going to happen so fast. So, yeah.
It's a great and wonderful time. And ladies and gentlemen, it's, I plead for you. And um, I mean, honestly, why I do this is I've always wanted to do it. And my my Sagittarius mentality is, I've always had, seen the brighter side to things. And I was like, well, I just wanted to enlighten people. Because I didn't want anyone to be felt captive and imprisoned. I wanted people to be free. And my first Bible study was Women of Deliverance, because that was my spiritual objective. I wanted to deliver and set people free. And my early days, that was Jesus' mission statement. And I didn't even know. I just wanted people to be free and feel free, and because I saw so much bondage in all areas, especially emotionally, right? So
Yeah.
I when I accepted the call, I didn't know that I had to go through the process of, of becoming and being, my own. I thought I was just gonna, because in my naivete, I'm thinking, oh yeah, I'm ready. No, no, no. If you're serious, you got to go through this thing, this hero soul's journey, in order to equip yourself and be prepared to answer the call. You answer the call, but now you've got to align with the call. And in order to do that, you got to go through a process.
And that's just what Jesus did. He came out of his spirituality and became as we were, to experience and take that walk. Not only to take that walk for the compassion of it, but to also show us that it's just a walk, it's just a journey. It doesn't take away from you what your original form of being is. It just gives you an experience for your soul for the next vehicle. It's good stuff, man. It's good stuff.
Tell you. And this is the great thing about it. When you are going through that process, you are aligning your soul, and you are clearing away so that you can hear, so that the frequency is in sync. You're in sync with the download, so they come freely and quicker.
Oh,
And
they flood. It's like,
instead of just little by little, crumbs, spoon feeding you. No, you're getting the meat now.
ooh,
You're getting the
it
meat and the
gets
potatoes
in
of
there.
everything, because you're finally in a mature state where you can get on that wavelength and get in line with that frequency, so that the downloads will come. You're just vibrating it. And to the next thing you know, yep, that's it. And those situations and circumstances, those trials you call them, or whatever it is, the experiences you're going through, you're able to see them for what they really are, because your ego is buried in the backyard somewhere, and your divinity is ruling and reigning. You're able to see it the way you're
Yeah,
supposed
with you being in Florida and how on the beach the waves come in, and that's kind of like how the downloads are coming in for me. It's like
to. Mhm.
one wave in, and before that wave can get settled, there's another one. And sometimes it can be like you got to breathe, because if you choose to listen, God pours it out like this.
Yep. I mean, there been time where I've been like, can I please go to sleep?
I was up at
Please.
4 this morning. I was
Please,
at 4 this morning.
can I please go to sleep? I got to go to work in the morning. Please, can I please go to sleep?
Yeah.
You know,
I
and
haven't
sometimes
slept. I
I
haven't
get it.
slept. I haven't slept for months in like a continuous sleep. All of my sleep has been broken up with visions. People call them dreams, but we actually in a vision. We actually come out of our body. Our soul goes somewhere else,
Right.
and it's just our body that sleep. So when you become aware of that, you begin to be aware of the travel that you're taking, and you can't sleep through that.
Good for you.
Can't sleep through it. But then the next morning you are refreshed.
Yeah, you're not tired.
Yeah.
And you know, it's an amazing experience to be in this state. You know, you're finally, when you get into that state and that frequency, you're finally just like comfortable in your own skin. You're comfortable because you finally understand this vehicle that you're in, and why it's here. And you're brighter and you're lighter. You know, you're not heavy because you're vibrating high, and it is such a joy. I mean, I'm out watering the plants this morning at 7 o'clock just singing. I have my disco going because, you know, that's just me. But I'm out there singing and hear the people out walking their pets and stuff. And they know me because they know I do that. And one was like, good morning, good morning. I'm like, good day. You know, and I'm singing and everything because I'm so joyful. And I much enjoy this Vanessa than the one that used to be sitting there over there in the corner getting drunk and couldn't even make it through the night without crying or feeling sorry for myself and despondent and wonder why my life was falling apart. So I much rather be this delusional, happy, joyful person because I'm on top of the world, you know. And I was this before none of it manifested.
And so I wonder when we get to that space of being or feeling that way on a consistent basis, why would you ever want to go back? Why would you ever want to retreat back into that?
It's like you're finally you've severed the cord of being attached to this world. You're in it, but you ain't of it. And you understand, you're able to see it and for what it is. So when things are happening, I just feel like I'm watching TV. I'll be like, oh, that's interesting. Or I laugh or whatever. I'm like, Lord have mercy, you know, or whatever. I'm watching TV. And then when it starts to, you know, when it comes into something that's me, impacting me, and I know what it is, I'm like, okay, yeah. And immediately I know what I have to do. I got to humble myself and I'll go within. And sometimes, you know, I'll get a little, you know, slighted by certain things, but after a night of rest, the answer will come. And then
we're so quick to say when people pass away from this dimension to another, rest in peace, when we should be resting in peace as we are on this side. Resting in peace is just being in the frequency of God. It's really accepting that you are image and you can't get away from it. If you go to a mirror and look at your physical image, you can't get away from that image. That is just your image. And so if you go and see that you're in the image of God, you can't get away from that all-knowing, all-present, all-powerful. It's just in you. And the solution is in you. And everything, it's just like a mother packing up her child clothes and food for a trip they're taking. They make sure that they include everything. You have been included with everything that you need for this journey. That's why God said, he shall supply your need. He's already supplied it. We're looking at outside stuff. He does that too. But he's given you and equipped you with all the tools that you need on the inside to face whatever you face. Again, we've got to go back. We accepted this journey. We made a covenant with God that we would walk this journey. We just forgot that we made that covenant and that we were equipped for that. So that's what's scary when you think you don't have what you need to face these situations. But we're here to remind you that Babylon has fallen. The fear, the doubt, the selfishness, the resentment, all of that has fallen. And now you can grasp back and remember. Repent means return back to your original state. Return back to your original state of being, not trying to be, not I'm working on it. No,
Well, if
you
you
are
don't,
always there.
and if you're not able to see that it's being dismantled, then you're still attached to the tether. You're still attached if you can't see it.
And my prayer and my energy goes out every day that eyes are continuously being open,
I
because
pray that your hearts be enlightened. You're
yeah,
right.
everything to being open to you, because nothing is concealed right now.
That's right.
Everything is open to you. You just have to make yourself aware and awake that it's open to you. We've been closed off so long, we've been locked out so long that we continue to think that's the way. But God is open every portal, every door, every window. He is pouring out
His
an
spirit,
overflow.
his point, the spirit is just flowing. And
Yeah.
it's hitting everybody, and it's hitting those. And it's interesting how you see certain people. I mean, you know, I live in TikTok, and there be people just praising God and just getting. I mean, they are free, honey, and it's such a. I mean, it's such a joy to watch. You know that one guy on TikTok, he said, I had to leave the church to find God. I said, I did too, brother, man. You know, but he's free. You see what I'm saying? He's free, and I pray because we, you know, we in the church, love going to church, love teaching Sunday school. Come
Yeah,
out of here.
that's where I started, and I am grateful for the
And all
teaching.
of them now. I'm just, you know,
I'm grateful for
that
the
disclaimer out
teaching
there.
of
Yeah,
knowing what to do and what
mhm,
not to do.
right.
And so, like we've talked about this whole season, the churches, all of us have gone through the stages of our mindsets of being unconscious to conscious to subconscious. And we're finally selling ourselves in this space and place that we don't have to be sometimes up and sometimes down. We don't have to struggle. We don't have to do that. You only struggle if you think you have to struggle. That's because you're such a creator. And so we're just changing our minds. We're changing our language. We're changing the way we think, the way we look at things, our perception. So everything changed. We become that new mind. Uh, to me, in the Bible, where it says mind, I think it should say mind, because the mind is that source of every thought that is created. So in the beginning, God created the mind, the mind. And I'm just sticking with my mind. And if it's in the image of God, there are no impossibilities.
You know, the great thing about, you know, this dismantling and everything is that the gift will be the new heaven and the new earth.
Mm-hmm.
If you come out of her, if you allow yourself to come up higher in Christ consciousness, God's way of thinking and doing and being. If I pray that you prosper, be in good health, even as your soul prospers. And a major component of your soul is your mind. If you're able to grasp this, then you can partake in the new heaven and the new earth that is promised to each and every one of us. And the whole
And it's God is no respecter of person. So I
yeah,
like to say, when you come to that gives you an opportunity to know that there's an availability for you. It is not an option, it is availability to you. It is on your plate, it is in you. So when you come to that, you just have to make a decision, one decision, that I am going to be awakened and enlightened and aware. It's just a decision. It ain't hard. Just make a decision.
well, you know, it's it requires courage. It requires courage for you to allow yourself to separate and come out of her. You know, you need to come out of her because it's not of God. It's a deceptive system, and it just said it. The witchcraft. What did it say? I just saw it. I mean, it said it here. The, Her traders robbed the whole world blind, and by black magic arts deceived the nations. That's everybody. What do you? I mean, if you would approach it as an investigator, you would understand exactly what it's referring to. All the nations, everybody. How could you deceive everybody?
It's a mind thing.
Come out of her. So, but the promise is you get a new heaven and a new earth, and you get to. The great thing about it is before the final separation occurs, you get to experience it here as well, because it has to begin here first. It has to begin in your mind and your heart, and you have to get on that vibration so that we can be transported to that wonderful place, that place that you've envisioned, where everyone is enlightened and ain't no evil, mean, wicked, and nasty people running around. It's none low vibration. It's all high vibrational frequency beings, because we have created a new heaven and a new earth. Jesus said, I go to prepare a place for you. He preparing the place, but he need us, just like they needed us here to create this outlandish way of doing and being.
I just heard God say yesterday and today, it says, I'm releasing funds. I'm releasing funds. And I heard him say, I am settling cases. In the month of August, the infinity sign, the new beginning sign. And the only way the funds are going to be released is if you have the mindset that they're released. Now, this prophecy is not for those who have a doubt, because you're going to do without. But the prophetic word is releasing the fund. You have to profess, confess, and affirm in order to get your mind in the same wavelength to receive what God has. You have to be ready to receive. He's not going to be able to release. He's not going to release those, because you're going to be the one that's stopping it. So this month that's coming up, starting tomorrow, the new beginning, the infinity, once the releasing starts, it is going to flow and not stop. It is going to get in the currency. You're going to get in the currency. And so I'm just encouraging someone who is facing a lot of things, as myself, but God gave the word to me, so I want to release it to you, because he's releasing the funds, but you have to be in the frequency of the release.
How do I get in the frequency of release, Dr. Washington?
In agreement. You have to be in agreement, not by your physical eyes, but by your spiritual eye. You have to be in agreement of that frequency. And that's why you confess and affirm, because it puts it in your subconscious in agreement of the frequency that's flowing over, in, and around your life. We've been tricked. We are not poor. We are rich. We are not sick. We are healthy. All of those things, you have to get in that flow, in knowing that. Believing just the seed to get you in the door, but you got to plant it so that it grows and it continues to grow in you. So I'm excited that God is doing that, not just for me, but for everyone that wants or desires, desires to get in the wheel of that frequency. The wheel is already done. So you got to get in the done frequency. Not in I'm hoping, I'm wishing, but you have to get in the done frequency. You have to experience what it feels like being in that already done. That's
Amen. Yeah. Amen. Now listen, if you're finding that this is difficult for you, then that's going to require some work. I'm all about, prophecies and all this kind of stuff and all that, but I'm also about, okay, look, what have I been contributing in order to receive this wonderful outcome? Have I been getting myself in sync spiritually by getting my heart and my subconscious and overruling all this negative doubt and stuff that's been implanted because I've been a part of a system that was bent on keeping me deceived and disconnected? What have I been doing to connect myself with the true power source so that I can get in sync, so that my vibration and my frequency will be connected to the right power source? See, prophecies are great, and I accept it. I'm in agreement with you because I know what I've been contributing, so I know that that's going to be my outcome as well. So I agree, and it's great that people get that and everything. But ladies and gentlemen, please, wisdom is the principal thing. So if you know that you have been doing the work and putting in the work that's necessary of you getting yourself in sync with what God has promised you and getting your soul right, getting all that in there right. Seriously. That he told that man by the side of the road, he said, get up. He said, do you want to walk? He was laying there. He said, do you want it? Do you desire to walk? You know, what is it? You know, so I love it. The season of release begins in August, and that's not the first time I heard that. So out of mouths of 2 or 3 witnesses, it's already established. So I received that, and I'm in agreement with all of you who are watching it. All of you are catching on the replay. This is our prophetic gift to you for supporting, spiritually speaking, and awakening, and everybody and watching us all season long on Stay in Love TV. Join us Friday right along with Vanessa Morning Show. I got 3 more episodes, and then I'm gonna go out with a bang as well. I want to it's our intention that you be liberated and set free. This is the season of release, August, and you know, I'm so happy that, you know, as these little things, I said, look now, I said, I don't want everything just to come to me all at once, because I just can't take it. But if you just give me little bits and pieces of blessings and wonderful things that of what are made to reap, I can handle that. So I can do a little calm state. It can't come all at once. But, you know, maybe 1 week and then the next I'll take that one. That's perfect. You know, so I know what is coming. You know what is coming because of what you've been contributing, my love. This is the season of release in August. Tied up in a knot, co-host. You got 2 minutes. We got to get up out of here, girl.
I just appreciate everyone who has supported. I'm appreciating those who are going to support. Begin to pull in all of those that have a desire to receive something that is going to ignite you into your life. So we are very grateful and appreciative for everybody who has watched us live, listened on the replay, gave comments, everything. So I'm appreciative to Vanessa for an opportunity on her new TV station, Stay in Love TV. I just recognized that you have the affinity sign. It's been there all season. And
It's been there since we started it.
I know it's been there. But when I recognized that 8, so I'm just excited. I mean, next season, I don't even know. I think we'll be floating or something doing it. We'll be levitating.
I just, you know, I just think we'll be in different places and spaces. It's all going to be better, and because our soul is prospered. So everything else on the outside must prosper because our soul is prospered. And I'm just honored and grateful that you decided to partner up with me and do this. You're such an amazing, enlightening soul, and I'm just grateful that I know you, and I'm grateful that you are.
Don't get misty.
I'm not gonna get misty. I'm just grateful that you are aligning with everything, and I'm seeing your progression and your support. I'm so grateful for it. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are wrapping up the season of Spiritually Speaking and Awakening. We are slotted to come back in November. So look out for that. But
back to the replays.
Come catch the replays. We're on the Classics channel, and we're also, you'll find the right channel there. You'll see the flyers there for each of the shows. Just click on it, and Coaching and Motivation and Spirituality channel and the Classics channel. You'll find all of the episodes, and we're going to be uploading some never before seen episodes of Spiritually Speaking and Awakening in a raw form when we were just going live on Facebook.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
I'm not gonna do the one when I was in the bonnet. I'm not gonna do that one.
Yeah, don't do that.
That was a hot mess.
Yeah,
but,
don't do
we're
that.
gonna be editing those and running those as well, so you'll be able to really get more content on Spiritual Speaking and Awakening, and also right along and
come on board. Come on board.
Yeah. So if you want to be a part of something radical and new, then contact us, and we'll be happy to get with you and see how we can partner up and be a part of a wonderful, thriving network. So I want to thank each and every one of you watching. I want to thank you for sharing. I want to thank you for caring and tuning in and watching. Hey, Mama. I want to thank everybody for all your support. So join me Friday, right along with Vanessa Morning Show co-host. I'll be talking to you and seeing you, and I'll be sending you a book. I promise. I'm going to the post office. I'm put it in my
tell them again, we need to know who wants to get the free book.
Yeah, so let us know if you want a free copy of Michelle's Mental Equation and the science, Jay Nolan's rendition of The Science of Getting Rich, authored by Wallace C. Wattles. Then contact Michelle or I, and we have three left to give you. So just put it in the thing, say, hey, I want a book, and the first three people, we will contact you and get these mailed out to you free of charge.
Yes.
So, thank you all so much again, co-hosts. We did it again. So until next time, everyone.
Namaste.
Stay in love. Good night, everyone.
Bye.
Stay in Love TV is your production to distribution solution to getting your message seen and heard. Having your own TV, all with one click. This opportunity puts you on the world stage with an audience of over 200 million. In addition to your low monthly subscription fees,